You're now listening to the most electrified and vilified podcast on the net, Hot Topix Podcast. Let's get this party started.
What was that shenanigans? I don't understand.
Welcome to the Hot Topix Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, and anybody in between.
You wrong for that.
No.
Yes.
I'm correct.
No, you're not.
Yes.
No, you're not.
Welcome to another episode of the Hot Topix Podcast, and I'm Psycho 4081, and we're here with Felonious Feather. Speak. And Lamb Chop.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon.
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Okay.
That's all you. It reminds me of your question of the day.
Yep.
All right. So, last episode we talked about cults.
Mm-hmm.
That was episode 1, and we wanted to follow up with episode 2 and get more detailed of the different types of cults. Well, not different types, but the some of the most notorious ones that we've had.
We know about, yeah.
And also give you some information on what's it called, intervention. If you know somebody who's in a cult, you can get intervention, and you can get some help after you've been in a cult.
Right?
So, and they
right.
don't do the same. So it's either one professional that does the intervention part, and there's one that does the after part. I guess the settling back into.
Well, it's probably going to be like long-term,
Yes.
some kind of long-term therapy because, if you totally in it and if you totally brainwashed, it's probably going to take you double the amount of time to get better than it did for them to brainwash you in the first place.
Like 2 or 3 election cycles.
You have to prove that in there.
He had to. I don't think that we're going to be able to get away from it, especially since it gets closer and closer. So we 63 days left.
Look at you counting.
I saw it on TV this morning. Don't give me. I don't have that much credit.
All right. So speaking of which, since we're talking about that, you mentioned, as you all know, that former president and convicted felon, twice impeached former president, responsible for sex offenses, and fraudulent businessman has been re-indicted. Not re-indicted. He's been indicted on
another charge.
Yep. And they also had the one that they tossed out because of that immunity thing. Mm-hmm. They're refiling.
Oh, wow.
And adding more stuff into it since they can. So that's going to be interesting. And they apparently the judge that tossed it, everybody's up in arms about her. So this guy said, "I don't care nothing about no election. We going on as planned."
Good for him. Good for him.
In time, we're going to do it swiftly and all that type of stuff because he's going to appeal it again anyway.
Right. He's going to keep dragging it out.
But yeah, he has the potential of doing some years in prison.
They're not putting him in prison. I'm telling you now, they're not putting him in prison.
I would say that would be very difficult not to with all the stuff that he has. And his co-conspirators actually getting sentences. So
I hear what you're saying.
The main person, the main culprit, no good.
Right. And then you throw in everything.
He was a president, so it's different.
And then you have the part where he did he planned this January 6th some type of fundraiser or a gala to honor the January 6th arrestees.
I saw that.
But this recently got postponed.
Right. Okay. So
that violates his whatever he has.
Here's my thing with that. If you sentence him and put him in jail, presidents get Secret Service for life. So are you putting Secret Service in jail with him?
Well, you know what? They're getting paid for it. Put him in there. You know what? I wouldn't even say if they wanted to actually put him in prison. They can section off a prison. They can give him give him an entire wing.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
not put him in.
Yeah.
Population.
As any president in history.
None.
And that's why I don't think he's going to jail.
The one person, well, you know why they don't go to jail? Because they were smart enough to resign and not even go through that.
Yeah, Nixon did resign before all of this happened. He did.
Yeah, so, I mean, they have to send a message. And, if anybody wants to start a GoFundMe to build him a special section, I will put the first $1 in. So
yeah, they're not going to need a GoFundMe. Tell his billionaire friends to help.
Musk, Elon.
You know, I'm going to ask you this, and then we can move on to our next topic. You know how they say actors in Hollywood, like if somebody wins an Oscar nominee, Queen Latifah, Oscar winner Denzel Washington, they always put that in front of their name. Are you always going to be 34 felon, sex offender every time you say his name? Because that's kind of long.
Shouldn't he also be on the list of sex offender? Oh, what don't they do that?
Oh, sex offender registry.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that with that part.
Right.
That was civil, but you know why I started doing that is because I read an article and they mentioned two prominent black people.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Simmons was one. And they put convicted rape. No, they didn't say whatever they said. They put rapists or whatever behind whatever it was. And I was like, wait a minute, this guy's a mogul, a hip hop historian and pioneer and
and legend in the hip hop world, really.
And that's what you come up with.
Yeah.
So, and I noticed how the media does that with certain people. And I was like, well, and at that time I was like, well, you don't say twice impeached president. Former President Trump. You just says, and they'll say President Trump.
Right.
So I said, all right, let me even it up a little bit and see how it goes. And
so
of course,
that's why you do that.
Yes, that's exactly why.
I think we had that discussion when OJ died. You said they kind of didn't really give him the credit. It was always going to be, you know,
that is the hypocrisy.
Okay.
And we know what it's based on. We don't have to, go into that. But yeah, that's so I'm gonna do my part and even it out.
Gotcha.
So
okay. I'm just asking. Yeah. I understand.
And hope to add more to his titles, like how they say, was it Protector of the Realm, of the First Men and King of the Andals and. Yeah, that's how
first of my name.
Yeah, yeah, that's how he's gonna be introduced from me.
Okay, I was just asking.
So yeah, but yeah, we're gonna get into the cults, and it's 16 that identified, and it's from historycollection.com.
Okay,
and like most of these I had never heard of, so all this is new to me. You've heard of a few because you mentioned a couple of them.
And like I said, I was like a big cult thing. I went down that little rabbit hole for a while. Podcasts, documentaries on TV.
Oh, really?
Well, I think because I'm just fascinated as to how do they get people to follow. Yeah. Like what happens in the mind of people to get them to follow.
Now, would you say out of all the things that you named, would you say charisma was the biggest?
Yeah. Charisma is the biggest thing. I think
charisma in what sense?
And for the leader, Okay. Like for the leader, you have to be charismatic. You have to be good with people. I mean, you have to, what they used to say, sell ice to the Eskimos. Yeah. Like you got to convince people to. A lot of times, give up their life savings, give up their homes, leave their families, all of those things. So you
sound like a pimp.
That too, I started looking into that too. Like how does that happen?
So say charisma, and I guess it would turn into fear at one point.
At some point,
for people who think they're going to leave, right?
Yep. And also, what I think is interesting too is that they don't really do the crimes. For the most part, It's always like my number one or my number two, or this one over here does this and that one over there does this. But almost always, the men have some kind of sexual relationship with the women in the cults. But they really parcel out the stuff that they could get arrested for to somebody else.
So, do you think that the sexual relationship is more or less a way of capturing them, like emotionally?
I think controlling them. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's controlling. Mm-hmm.
So not so much as that they just want to have sex with, just more or less the control part.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So the first one on the list, and I know I'm gonna mess up all these.
Is that like number one or
this
16
is number 16
going up? Okay.
16 going down. Okay. So the Hashishans. Hashishin.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Hashishin, yeah. And this goes back to the days of Marco Polo. So I don't know if you even go that far, but when European crusaders and later Marco Polo returned to Europe after their adventures and exploits.
Adventures? You mean rape and pillage?
Yes, and killing.
Ooh, they put some fancy words on some stuff. Okay, I'm sorry.
And exploits in the Muslim world. They carry with them stories of a group of guerrilla fighters known as the Hashishin. Marco Polo actually understood the word assassins and interpreted it as being Hashishin. I guess is a linguistic thing, but they basically were Muslims and that's like freedom fighters.
Right. I was gonna say, what made them a cult? Did they want to call it a cult because they fought back?
I guess it's all on perspective.
Yeah.
They said they were based in Iran and Syria and was led by a grand imam. That's a religion. It's a religious order. They taught Islam. They were engaged. That's like, okay, I'm going to skip over that one. That seems kind of biased.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, because it sounds like a religious group.
Right.
Obviously, they were fighting. They engaged in guerrilla warfare. That doesn't seem like anything.
Maybe they didn't want to be colonized.
Well, that makes them
a cult. Okay, we just gonna skip that one. Number 15.
Adolfo Constanzo's Santeria cult.
Okay.
So most of the people know what Santeria is, right? That's that Caribbean,
Afro-Caribbean,
almost like voodoo.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain it. It's maybe I should look that up. Let me see. Let's see what it is. Let's see what Santeria is. 'Cause I hate to say,
Well, like I said before, a lot of people feel like that's a religion and not necessarily a cult. So I guess sometimes it depends on who's naming it.
Oh yeah.
To determine whether or not it's a cult.
So they said it's an Afro-Caribbean religion that developed in Cuba during the late 19th century. Yeah, okay. But what is it? Blends West African orishas or divine beings with Catholic saints and rituals. So it's a mixture of different things. All I remember is what they had. Every time you heard of Santeria, it was like some chickens getting cut.
And they using the blood for something. Yeah. But it may not be all of that. It may just be one small part of it. And, people take stories and do what they will with them.
Yeah, and there's always when you have a main religion, there's always a whole bunch of splinter groups.
Right.
Right. That, kind of do things their own way. Like Nation of Islam, actually. I believe they came from oh my goodness. I know these things. I just remember. Noble Drew Ali. What was his group? They Noble Drew Ali. Come on, you a hip hop artist?
I'm not a hip hop artist. I know some things. However, I am 60.
Yep, just like all the hip hop artists from back in the day.
So I know a few of them, but
religious leader who prophet claimed to be the second prophet of Islam and a descendant of Morocco. Oh, there it is. Founded the Moorish Science Temple.
Okay,
that's what it was. So the Moors, you call them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But get back to the cults. So this guy Adolfo, obviously says Cuban. So where do you think he came from? Miami.
You know what?
Miami. Yep. From Miami, 1962. He was born in the Roman Catholic religion, which is kind of common, I guess, right?
Yep.
He had a fascination with the Santeria religion. It was they said something splinter of voodoo.
Okay.
And Roman Catholicism that he may have inherited from his mother and grandmother. So I guess they were priestesses and what have you. So his followers worshipped him as if he was a god.
Okay.
Now
that's a common theme that runs through They either feel like the leader is usually a prophet, or the second coming of Jesus or God in some kind of way.
Okay, so he actually established himself with local drug lords, crime syndicates, and stuff like that. So he got into that type of
He
thing.
was
But
having himself a good old time.
yeah, they followed him and found that they were becoming powerful within the cartels, and he tried to extract more money from them as well as positions of power for his own self. So he got too big for his britches.
And what happened?
Well, they said they found the bodies of people that he had killed, came to light, and he dismembered many people and used their body parts in his rituals.
Oh wow!
Yikes.
Yeah, I guess to strengthen his own power. He said the official count is only 23, but it may be high as 4 dozen.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as that doesn't say what happened to him.
Right.
I would imagine he was
dealing with cartels and killing
he
people. He probably
disappeared.
didn't come to a good ending.
But they said when we were talking about like the fear part, so you had the charisma and you had the fear. They said people who refused him, they would mysteriously disappear.
Okay.
So I guess that was the 4 dozen. But
And everybody who knew that the person disappeared feared him.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, they didn't say what actually happened to him.
Right.
But Japanese cult of the emperor. All throughout history, there have been entire civilizations and religions built upon the worship of a monarch. You know, of course, we know about the ancient Egyptians and all that type of stuff, though. So they got Emperor Hirohito. I remember him from the World War I or II movies.
Okay.
He was the last emperor of Japan, so I guess might have been World War II then. What was his thing? He reinvigorated the Shinto belief that the emperor was the connection between heaven and earth and a descendant of the goddess Amaterasu. Amaterasu.
Good try. I wouldn't try it.
Where's our favorite linguist here?
If looks could kill.
All right, so he said his religious and political mission was given to him by heaven, and obviously that was the expansion of Japan.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that kicked off his thing, the World War II thing, expansion into the Pacific, going all the way to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So many of his followers swore such a high level of allegiance to him that they strapped themselves into glider-like planes and dive bombed into American warships stationed in the Pacific. Those were the suicide
bombers.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do they call them? Kamikazes.
Yeah.
So I guess that made them a cult because they sacrificed themselves for the emperor. But that's kind of like, I think a lot of people under a monarchy would do anything for their
for their leader,
the king. You know, God save the queen. You know?
Yeah.
So, but
I'm just fascinated at what goes on in your head that says I'm gonna strap this bomb on me and I'm gonna go die because
well, I'm gonna think. All right, so you're an American, I think.
You know what?
And you're also.
I'm not American. I'm not American.
Okay, now if you're king, you're chief.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a chief, and I don't have a king.
Yeah, everybody they have chiefs over there, don't they? They have chieftains.
You know what?
No,
what
they do.
Seriously,
they do.
Yeah, they do. But then I used to live in the city, so I don't know.
So anyway, so they said, hey, this is for the country, and I need you to go do this. Would you do it?
Well, they have.
What are you asking me to do?
We have men to do whatever.
Oh, you done started something. No, you done
have
started
men to
something.
do whatever, go to war, do whatever.
So is it any leader? Can you see yourself in a position where the leader says, I need you to do this for the country, even if it includes blowing yourself up? Or,
no, I'm not blowing myself up.
No, not anything that goes against my morals.
I'm not blowing myself up.
Common sense.
That's your morals. This is warfare.
Or common sense. I don't care.
You're at war. Let's say you're at war with
So why do I have to blow up myself?
Right.
Why can't I blow up somebody else?
Yeah, that's the whole thing about blowing yourself up. You blowing yourself up and them.
To go, no.
For Nigeria.
No.
Yeah, I'm a pass on that one. I might do other things. I'm not blowing myself up.
I'm not a suicide bomber.
Y'all not loyal.
Yeah,
I guess I'm not.
Yeah.
I got if it means strapping myself to a bomb, I'm not loyal.
So, are you either one of you churchgoers?
I don't go to church.
You don't go to church? Okay. Mm-hmm. What about you?
You already know the answer. Why are you asking?
They don't know.
Again? Okay, well, you say, hey, Felonious, I know you go to church. That's what you should say. So why are you asking?
Listen.
Okay, no, none of us, we don't go to church. Both of us don't go to church.
All right, one of us goes to a church.
Exactly, so you know already. You already know the answer, so why you acting like you don't know?
Is there anything that the pastor would ask you that you would not do?
I'm not a fanatic, so that's the point. I just go to church because
you like to dress up.
Whatever.
Why do you harass her so? Why?
Oh my God. I just go to church because it's like a fellowship of fellow Christians and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So there's a limit to what I believe and what happens or what they say or you understand what I'm saying? So it's just what I want to know, what I know, and I'm just doing that as to just fellowship with other Christians, and that's it. No, I don't go to church weekly. I don't do weekly service or all those kind of things. I just go to church on Sundays, and that's it.
And Easter.
On
Why
Sundays,
are you special?
Whatever day Easter is.
Oh, okay.
Why are you special?
Well, a lot of people do. They go to church on
Easter,
I go to church
Christmas.
I go Easter,
Yep.
Christmas, all the Christian.
Ash Wednesday.
Halloween.
Oh no, I don't go Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, my aunt used to go Ash Wednesday.
So,
I had too many questions. My family is Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
I had too many questions that no one was able to answer.
So
I just stopped going.
Oh, you stopped. Okay.
No.
or did you let him influence you?
Or do they say, well, let's not take her to church with us?
That might be
She
it.
asked too many questions.
She asked too many questions. Like, I didn't understand why women couldn't be the pastor of the church or the priest of the church.
Did you know
That's
that?
Catholic. That's Catholic.
That's in the Bible.
That women should
Yes.
not.
Yes.
Now, see,
Well,
if
we have
you are a
churches like
regular
that.
churchgoer and you believe all the things that they're saying, you should have been able to explain that to me.
Most people, honestly, even I'm gonna say pastors, can't explain a lot of things. So they don't tell you to just have faith.
So my point is but this is not about Christianity. We're moving on. But my point is a lot of people interpret the holy book in different ways, you know. So some people say this, some people interpret it differently, some people interpret it in another different way.
Right.
Like everybody is not like this is what it means. There's always like some sort of deeper meaning to whatever it is, and then it's always peculiar to whoever is preaching. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's a general thing or general spirit kind of thing. It's just like for whatever you think that means to you is what it means to your congregations and all of that. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like everybody has this general viewing of what, like a layman or what do I call you again?
King.
Duh. A pagan, yes. Yes.
Oh,
so
goodness.
like I forgot what I was going to say because oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Moving on.
So what was the point of you asking us about church? Because this is not part about
It is. It's
okay.
Because we're talking about cults and the psychology behind it. Is there how far will a normal person? And I'm assuming that you both are normal. How far is
assuming that we're normal
person will go?
Well, we didn't ask you. Like, how far are you willing to go? Well, you did join the Navy, so you would have to go
pagan,
far.
So.
Huh?
You're a pagan, so what?
What's the definition of a pagan?
An unbeliever in anything.
No, it's not a pagan. And I do believe in things. I believe in.
Well, he was a Muslim. He was a Christian, and now he's a pagan. So
why was I a Christian?
Moving on.
I was told to be a Christian.
Whatever. Moving on.
All right,
pretty much. That's why that's you follow what your family does.
Yeah.
If my family was Catholic, that's what we did. So, but the question was, what were you willing to do? You made us answer it.
Oh well, I'm not willing to kill.
But you joined the armed services.
Yeah, but that's a purposeful kill.
It's
So
a purpose.
it's
Well,
purposeful
if
kill.
somebody's asking you to do it for your country, wouldn't that
But
be a purposeful kill?
That's my job, but not for a person. I'm not doing it for President such and such. I'm not doing it because I admire somebody. I'm doing it because it's my job to do this. Like even like police officers or firemen, you run into a building,
right?
You know, so that's
not because you want to, but
exactly,
because you have to.
Because it's your job. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would do. I mean, anything that's that I feel is morally right, and legal. So yeah, anything.
I don't know. I might be a little sketchy with the legal, but it depends.
But it has to be morally right, legal. Like I would, you know, like say if I was in a church and you know I had to sleep with the pastors, you know, anybody. Yeah, I don't mind sleeping my way up to the top or anything like that.
What's number 14 on the list?
Taking one for the team.
What's number 14 on the list? We just gonna go right past you.
All right. So, speaking about your choice, we have the Manson family.
Oh yeah, I remember them. We talked about them slightly.
That. So, yeah. And one of the things you mentioned, you said, what does that have to killing Sharon Tate have to do with the race war? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He said. Did you ever see the interview with him?
I've seen a lot of interviews with him. He
said when he gets out, the body's going to be stacked up to the sky.
Okay. Well, he didn't get
Parole
out.
decline.
He didn't get out, so we don't have to worry about that. But that was another case of the leader sending someone else to do the crime.
Right.
Because, you know, all along he proclaimed his innocence because he didn't actually do the crime. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But he said he came out, he's the manifestation of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right out of prison.
Yeah. I think did he die in prison? He died in prison.
I thought he's still alive.
Charles Manson? I thought he died in prison.
Interesting. Let's see that.
I thought he was in his 80s, but a few of his followers got out, but they were good and old by the time it happened.
So they went on this murderous rampage, beginning with the slaying of pregnant actress Sharon Tate.
He died in 2017.
Yeah, I thought
he did?
I thought he was gone. Okay. He was 80 something. It didn't say.
No.
Oh, right. Died in prison in 2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
83.
80. Yeah. Yep.
Well, that was one example of one nut that should never have gotten out.
Ever.
That, you know,
ever.
It's...
So he never connected the... Yeah.
What is the connection with Helter Skelter? Do you know? Like with the Beatles song Helter Skelter?
Did they write that on the wall somewhere? I want to say they wrote that in somebody's blood on the wall. In one of the houses where they killed the people. Something about the pigs. Because, you know, they called cops pigs.
Right. And
I think they wrote Helter Skelter on the wall.
So Helter Skelter is what they coined as the race war. But how did you know anything about the song the Beatles had, Helter Skelter?
No. I know the song. Okay. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know how that connects.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, I don't know how that connects.
Then I don't agree with this, but they have Freemasons.
Yeah.
I don't see that as being a cult because nobody is worshiping a person
or doing all these bizarre things. So, but they it's a lot, and it's a lot of Freemasons out there, but it's very secretive. So maybe that's why they feel like it's part of a cult. They can't tell you what it is or what they're doing.
Yeah, but that's the government too.
That's facts right there.
I said they got the Illuminati. Ma'am, do you believe the Illuminati still?
No.
How about you?
I thought it said all those popular artists and stuff were part of.
You did? You said that?
I thought they said. I didn't say me.
Who? Who's they?
Popular belief.
Oh, so you're saying? You're saying that there's a lot of people that believe that
they still exist.
Yeah.
Like you hear about Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. I didn't want to name names, but yeah.
Okay. You can name. But I'm asking you: do you believe that the Illuminati?
Didn't they say even the
there she go with they
God we trust? Is that the $100 bill or whatever bill? You know the
one of the coins.
Mm-hmm. What's the
and God we trust?
Yeah.
With the triangle, and the eye.
Yeah, that's the sign or the symbol.
No, that's the all-seeing eye. That's roots somewhere else.
Well, they say that's Illuminati.
With the pyramid. Okay. But do you believe in the Illuminati? I'm asking you, not they.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not American, so I don't know.
So what did they say the Illuminati is, and how does it function?
Okay, so say no single group in history, cold or not, has the notoriety and infamy as the Illuminati. Many believe that its members are compelling people who are behind every major event that happens in the world today. So what I know of the Illuminati, how they say it, not how it actually is, but how they say it, that there's a group of people who push every single button out there in the world.
Yes.
And they have people almost like layers.
Okay.
Where, you know, if you wanted to be part of, somebody actually approached me. What was that?
I'm like,
somebody actually approached me and asked me that I want to be a part of the Illuminati.
Stop playing.
What are you? What are you?
Yeah. What am I?
That will ask you. Are you wealthy? Do you have money? Or do you have?
Yes, I'm the world's most famous 100-aire.
What do you?
So, but yeah, they for some odd reason they approached me on social media, and I looked at the thing and they had all the different, you know, throwing up their little signs and all different types of things. And the thing was with them was with power, money, and if you become a part of this group, that you know you also have that power and money. I was like, well, I don't need all that.
You just need your wives.
But that's so the Illuminati is supposed to be that the uber rich that's out there and that's pulling people in, and when you're called to do something on their behalf, you know,
you have to do
you're bound
it.
to do it.
Yeah, why did you
And then that
join?
moves
So
you
can
up
make, you can make decisions on our behalf.
I make decisions already. Yeah. So yeah, that's you know, but but it actually goes back to the I think the 1700s. Yeah.
Wow.
It was founded in Bavaria in 1776 as a consortium of Enlightenment thinkers who opposed the abuses of the monarchy, the control that religion, the control they had.
Mm-hmm.
So now you know what Illuminati obviously means enlightened,
Right?
So,
right.
And which kills me about like how we turn everything that's supposed to be aware,
Right.
You know,
Into something that's bad. Yeah. Like woke.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, that's what that's about. They said today they're at the center of the New World Order conspiracy theory, which I think personally is BS. So you're not going to be approaching me if you was a part of the Illuminati, a real Illuminati, and you was approaching people, you'd have known what I'm worth,
right?
And passed me by.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Was the person blind? I'm going to.
I can't help y'all.
Well,
so.
I mean, maybe your status as a
Maybe, or maybe they saw the future.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
Well.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
next time anybody who's a part of the Illuminati, hit my bank account up first and hook me up about 20 points on my credit score. Then we could talk.
I can't with you.
But they had number 10, the Moonies.
Yeah, like something in my head, like kind of sort of remembers, but don't. Like, it's weird.
Was it a person called Reverend Moon?
Yes. Yes.
And was he Asian?
I don't remember.
I'm going just calling
right,
back
right.
All right, let's see. The Unification Church, freewheeling 1960s and 70s. They were called the Moonies. Okay, so that's old. The Moonies were followers of. I mean, you know,
Fix it.
They was black and white TV.
Hey, I had a black and white TV.
So they were followers of Sun Myung Moon.
Yes.
All right, I remember the name.
Yeah,
now.
I remember that.
Who claimed that Jesus had invited him to finish his mission on earth by arranging mass weddings among complete strangers to create pure families.
Okay. That sounds like something somebody here at this table might be interested in.
Hey. So his church formed in 1954 in Korea. I thought Moon was a Chinese name though. Whatever.
Maybe translation.
It was,
Maybe the translation.
Could be. But it was a blend of shamanism, Christianity, anti-communism, and Confucianism. which I do like Confucianism. The message of the church was to achieve world peace by creating pure families through marriage. And I wonder how's that going to do world peace?
I don't know.
How does that?
Okay. I don't know. Like I don't think we're meant to understand these things seriously.
Yeah. Maybe if you keep people
happy in marriage, they I don't know.
That's magic in itself.
But at least he wasn't stealing or hurting people. He was trying to just. Did you say that's magic? Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah. And you got the People's Temple.
Well, there you go. We talked about the People's Temple
which
last week.
Flabbergasted because I just knew it was, long-haired hippie white folks.
It was some of those too.
I'm talking about like almost like 90%.
Yeah, it was some of those too, but not as many as you thought. And I think that's probably part of too why I was fascinated, because you don't really hear a lot about African Americans and cults.
Right.
They're out there. I'm sure they're out there. You just don't hear about them that way.
Now, I hesitate to, there's some that people would call a cult. I wouldn't call it a cult, but by definition, it possibly could be. Like Nation of Islam. What was the other one that I mentioned?
I mean, if you go there, then we'll get into that same argument that you guys got in, because the Nation of Islam really is a religion. So
right.
Then you can say Catholicism and Christianity. Like you could.
Right. Well, they said
on that
something that's like not mainstream, and I don't know how it came to that because everybody starts off as a cult then.
What do you mean?
Not everybody, but every religion starts off as a cult.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you have a leader and people are following this leader.
And then it just whoever spreads or gets the most followers are the mainstream, whatever.
Right.
So I guess at any point, any of those can switch.
Oh, you're right.
So are you saying, so these days we have like social media? Don't point. These days we have like social media. Like people have followers too. I know people follow musicians. People follow all those people. So would you consider them a cult?
But you're talking about the influencers.
Yeah.
People that follow. Well, let me tell you. Maybe the Beehive.
And the Swifties. Is that what they call Taylor Swift?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they call them the Swifties.
So any Beehivers or Swiftiers out there, subscribe to our website. I know it's a lot of y'all out there. So subscribe to the website. And
that's kind of interesting though. Yeah. That's an interesting thought, because the Beehive is nothing to play with. If you say something bad about Beyonce, they are on you. They are on you. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, would you consider this ones that like, would you consider, oh my God, would you consider them
a cult-like?
They
I would say
be cult-like.
Yeah.
So these days it's like that means there are a lot of cults.
If she has,
so and then another thing would be, if it's good, if you feel like some are good and then some are bad, like Trump, for example. If you feel like, oh, it's a cult, everybody's just following him headlessly. It's the same thing as following Beyonce.
Well,
no, the difference is she's not requiring you give her full loyalty. She's not telling you to storm the Capitol. He
didn't tell them.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's why he's in trouble now. And he just, well.
But then I'm just liking the two of them, like the cult. This is cult.
So I think with Beyonce's thing, she has her fans, some strong fans. They're the fanatics, right? So, it's not really about like, if she says something, they're gonna all go down and do it. A little different, right? Whereas the MAGA people.
That's what I'm saying. Some people say, they say, hey,
but we
have Rihanna too. We have people that
right.
We have a lot of people that even forget the celebrity. We have influencers, just TikTok, TikTok.
Right.
A lot of people do stupid shit. Snapchat. A lot of people do stupid. There was this lady, a Nigerian lady, that told people to learn how to make young girls to learn how to make money, and they had to give her like, I can't remember the amount. They had to actually pay her
Oh, so she was a
on
pimp.
Snapchat.
So
She
how much
was
you give her?
pimping them. You know what?
They had to actually pay her to, and then she's like, "Oh, I didn't get money from them. They're just buying the pencil or the pen and the book, blah 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 blah." Too. I'm like,
Oh, no.
what do you even know about making money? Like, you're just an influencer. What do you know about making money?
Well,
Like,
clearly she knows something if
Exactly.
people sending her money.
like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, young girls, like all these young teenage people
Right.
just growing up now, they don't know nothing. All they want is they just follow people blindly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
So if you could be an influencer and you say, well, hey, I can teach you how to be an influencer and get millions of dollars or whatever. So if you want my package, to send me $10,
Right.
and you'll get the whatever. And then when you get the package that says, you go on the internet and say, I can tell you, I can get you $1 million, and just send out $10. So it's like
yeah.
it's the
So
same
in
thing.
other words, what I'm saying is, yeah, these days, even now, there are a lot of cults. Cults in
but-
inverted commas.
So I'm saying that, but a cult is people who are believing in something like or power or a person or something. They're not really just because somebody follows them. They believe this person is going to make you a millionaire. It's a little bit different. You get what I'm saying? They're not. They're following for a reason. It's like if you followed your favorite actor or your favorite basketball player. That's not a cult. It might be a cult like following. But they're not all
cult.
bound
To, yes,
like a
okay.
unified anything. I guess that'd be a point. You would have to be some type of
Difference.
unification.
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like some of them fans are unified in a kind of way. And I really do.
Take Michael Jackson, for example.
Oh,
See?
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Yeah. That was cult.
So, but
Like
I
following.
think they say when they mention those, it's like, oh, he has a cult like following.
I feel like if Taylor Swift or Beyonce walked out on the stage and say, I want everybody to do A, B, C, and D, I guarantee you a good 85-90% of those people are gonna do it. It's like that.
Well, I need to talk to them.
Okay, so where are we? Number
Number
11? Oh, number 8. Okay.
Branch Davidians.
Branch
You remember
Davidians. We
those?
did talk
You remember
about
that?
them the week ago.
no, I didn't
Waco?
know what to talk about.
Were
Keep
you
going.
here?
Keep going. Keep
She
going.
was,
Waco?
yeah, she had to be young. When was that?
This was the 80s, 90s, maybe.
Maybe not.
All right, David Koresh was a troubled youth who was kicked out of his mother's church for insisting that God had ordered him to marry the pastor's daughter. Whatever.
That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
This
He
was
went on to
90.
join the Branch Davidian cult in Waco, Texas, where he pursued the founder's 65. So he wasn't a founder.
He wasn't.
Okay.
Really?
So he pursued the founder's 65-year-old wife, claiming that God had told him to father a child with her. Now, if he did, that's a miracle.
She's
So
65.
Yeah. So he soon lost interest in her and set his sights on a 14-year-old girl who consented to marry him. He and his wife had a fallout with the founder and led members of the Branch Davidian to live in tents
Okay.
and buses 90 miles away in Palestine, Texas. When the founder died, he gained control of the entire group in Waco. Okay.
That was 93. That was
93?
93. Well, they bombed him in 93.
So that was the ATF.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think that was one of the first times I heard of the ATF. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And was Janet Reno the one that gave that final?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your memory?
Occasionally she good.
So 4-hour gunfight ensued, followed by a 51-day siege in which none of the federal agents apprehended the cult members believed that they were doing God's will. Okay.
You know what I thought was interesting about a lot of those? Like they always say they're doing God's will, but you stockpiling weapons.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, because the government's coming in to
take, yeah, that's another one. The government is always going to take over, and the government will take your rights. The government is going to do this, that,
take
and the
your
other thing.
rifles, take your guns.
Yep.
Sound like
Yeah.
MAGA to me. So Heaven's Gate, and I had never heard of this one
Yeah,
before.
we talked about
You
Heaven's
mentioned
Gate.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
Marshall Applewhite
Yep.
was the son of a Presbyterian minister, and he had a fascination with biblical prophecy. Now, wait a minute, what's so famous about Heaven's Gate?
They are the ones that they thought that they were going to be beamed up.
Oh my
and
God.
live
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And died with the Nikes on.
Right.
Yeah.
So during the stay,
And the Kool-Aid.
Oh, that was
That's another one.
the People's Temple.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a People's
so
Temple.
during the stay at a psychiatric hospital in 1972,
Wow.
he met Bonnie Nettles, a nurse there who also showed a keen interest in biblical mysticism with an extraterrestrial flair. And there's a lot of people like that too. Like they think the aliens came here and taught the Sumerians all this, knowledge and built the pyramids, and they were giants and then left.
Right.
And they make a compelling argument, though. They do. I'm not saying it's true, but I'm saying how they explain it. They do make a compelling argument. But over the next few years, they would solidify different esoteric belief systems into a UFO-based cult, which would gain about 41 followers over the next 2 decades. That's it.
You're right. It wasn't a lot of them. It was not.
What?
Yeah.
So let's say
And 39 cult members died.
Wait a minute. This is the good part here.
He said the good part. How's it good if people die?
Okay, because they even purchased alien abduction insurance.
Oh my God.
Which would cover up to 50 people with $1 million each.
Whoever that salesperson is, he is brilliant. That's all I want to say. He is absolute. I will shake your hand, sir. You are absolutely brilliant. Who now did he make up the alien insurance, or did he go to like Allstate or something and get alien? I'm sorry, this is not funny. People died, but it's like who
like exactly who makes and who believes that?
Apparently they did.
You want to go into insurance business?
We should.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
That's super salesman.
Yeah, that is salesman of the century. Is what that is.
Then had the guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's Aum Shinrikyo. Japanese. That was a doomsday cult in Japan led by Shogo Ashihara. Let me say that right. Shogo Ashihara. Right? Like a shogun?
That felt kind of racist, but go ahead.
No, that's not. Shogun.
Stop it.
Oh. It operated under the front of being a yoga-style organization, and its teachings were conglomeration of Buddhist, Hindu, and apocalyptic beliefs. That don't sound so bad.
What?
That don't sound so bad.
Okay, the Buddhist and the Hinduism. Okay, fine.
But
apocalyptic. Oh, I can't even say it.
Apocalyptic belief, but everybody has some sort of apocalyptic belief. Everybody, if you really talk to them, they'll say, there's going to be a day where everything's going to go away, and it's science. Everything that's created is destroyed. But everybody believes that one day this, whether it be Christians thinking, what's it called? Christian. What's it called?
Mm-hmm. Judgment Day.
Judgment Day and the Rapture.
Rapture.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. The group owned its own research and development center, where its members amassed firearms and prepared chemical weapons. So they were going to create their own apocalyptic day. Huh. Oh, wow. I remember this. Because that's March 20th, 1995. Members of the cult boarded the Tokyo subways at rush hour with bags containing nerve gas known as sarin gas.
Wow.
Yeah, so I guess that's what they want to make sure it happened, I guess. They punctured the bags, and within seconds, people on the subway began vomiting and choking. A total of 13 people died, and many more were injured in what was the worst terrorist attack in Japanese modern history. 13 people is not a lot compared to what could have happened.
Right.
So.
And like the People's Temple, like over 900 people died.
Wow.
Yeah. Was it 900 or 700? But it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
The cult's members later tried unsuccessfully to release hydrogen cyanide into crowded subway stations.
Oh my God. They really were killing people. Trying to kill people.
Oh, Lord. At least 7 members of the group have been executed by hanging for the attacks. They're still in existence.
Wow.
Okay.
Was that number 1?
No. That was number 6.
Wow.
Order of the Solar Temple. Like, this is the one I said I like the name. Order of the Solar Temple. Another one with alien beliefs. And
oh my God! Like, a lot of gullible people everywhere.
Yeah, and the occult.
Oh my God! Why are you looking at her when you say that?
and other out of mainstream elements to create a creed that centered on establishing a correct order of authority and power.
Authority and power always in there.
Yeah, that sounds kind of medieval, but that don't seem kind of out there. I think it's kind of archaic. But
I think what it is like it's not a deep enough dive. They don't tell you what they're doing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you could tell whether it's cult-like. It's on a list, so it is considered a cult. But, if they just sitting around believing that, the aliens are going to come, then who cares? But it's...
Come and do what? Take them away.
Yeah, come in, give order to the planet. And again, it was another one, the second coming of Jesus.
Right.
Okay, so I guess Jesus went into the spaceship, I guess. I don't know. So they will come down and create a unified religion, unified power structure, all ushered in by aliens. This is the funny part about that. The first time an alien gets recognized coming down here, what they going to do?
Shoot it.
Exactly. They gonna blow it out of the sky.
Yeah, they gonna shoot it, or the government is gonna capture it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those who are waiting for aliens to come and save you, let me tell you, they're going to be destroyed, or captured, or eaten.
I can't. I just.
So, yeah.
Who is? Never mind. No, I don't even know. I would try. Never mind. Who is eating an alien?
People always trying to eat shit.
Yeah.
The Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, we talk about him too.
So Warren Jeffs.
Yep.
Now, what was his thing? He was.
That's the one with all the wives.
The
wives.
Had
60
was
wives.
Was he forcing them?
Well, he was forcing girls to marry adults, 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds to marry adult men, and then they were intermarrying, like cousins were marrying, because he wanted to keep everything within his cult, within his church, and that's a break off too
of the
Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
That was a break off too.
So he said he had 75 women who gave him 60 children. He married 75.
Oh, that's women. That's what a 60 was. So it was 75 wives and 60 kids.
Okay, so some of them women wasn't doing what they're supposed to do. So he should have at least had 75. I'm saying numbers, need to match up. So, all right, let's see. Allegations soon spread that under Jeff's underage girls were being forced into marriage, as well as reports of crimes such as rape and incest. Yep. There you go. Yep. I don't think they consider cousins incest. So this must have been something deeper than that.
Like siblings.
Yeah, like siblings.
They don't consider cousins incest?
Yeah.
No, some people.
Yeah.
Even first cousins?
Yeah, because in all actuality, that's been a common practice through most of human history.
Yeah.
Except when I guess the Puritans got here and was like, no, you can't. Da, 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 da. But that was common.
That's true.
Yeah. But they were doing some.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Cersei and.
Yeah. I think he's still in jail. I think recently he came up for parole or something was going on. I saw his name, and they were like, denied.
Oh wow!
You're not coming home.
Well, they raided them, and a whole bunch of people went to jail. I guess people who were, they said, spiritually married.
Yeah, because he married them.
He was
the one doing the marrying. Okay. There was no actual priest or certified person.
439 children into protective care.
Jesus.
Wow, that seemed like that's definitely a cult, but that seems like more or less is a person who used his influence for pedophilia, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Or just, sexual deviancy.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
because what was the purpose? Were you trying to, I guess he was trying to build a better nation. Everybody has a mission.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Most of these have some kind of mission,
right.
But it didn't feel like that he had a mission.
Go forth and be fruitful.
Apparently. Spread your seed.
All right. The movement for restoration of the 10 Commandments of God.
Oh, that's I haven't heard of that one. That's a new one.
That's number 3.
Okay.
1989 in Uganda, a man named Paulo Kashakun met Joseph Kibwiteri.
Okay.
My apologies for butchering the names.
Right.
But they claim to have seen images from God, like the Virgin Mary, Jesus, and they reported sights of his deceased daughter.
Who's deceased daughter? Jesus deceased daughter?
No, one of the guys. Deceased
Oh,
daughters.
I can't say. Wait a minute, this story.
The first guy, Apollo's daughter.
Okay.
So they formed a breakaway religious movement that they called the Movement for Restoration of the Ten Commandments of God. Woo, that's long. And let's see. Again, here's the apocalyptic belief that the world would end at midnight on the dawn of the year of 2000.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Well, 24 years over.
Yeah.
That didn't work. So let's see.
Was he one of those people? Because a lot of people were collecting stocking supplies in 1999 because they thought the world was going to come to an end and all
then
of
what was
that.
the other one? The Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
Well, they set a new date for the end of the world, and that didn't happen. So let's see what they do. They still faithful gathered in the church to pray. Then the church was set on fire.
Oh my God! On purpose?
Yes, by the first guy, Paulo. No, the second guy. And 530 people died.
Jeez.
Yep. Hundreds more were killed when he threw them into wells or killed them through other means. All told, 778 people died.
Wow.
So my thing is this. It's two of them. How you going to throw people in the wells and do all this stuff? It's all y'all against them.
It was
Unless they
900 people that drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Unless they volunteered to do it, I guess. But Cult of Cali. Let's see. Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom is based loosely on a Hindu cult called the Cult of Cali.
I thought you were joking when you started with Indiana Jones.
Oh, no.
I'm like, no, stop playing.
So they in the movie they go in to infiltrate this temple,
right?
And where people were gruesomely killed. Kali is a Hindu goddess who worshippers believe demands human sacrifice.
Oh,
so I guess they was doing that. Oh, wait a minute. This is what we have when we did the gang thing. The word thugs come from. Yes. Oh, hold on a second.
Wow. You know you're gonna have to explain the word where thugs come from.
I will.
Are we here number 1 yet?
No, we are not at number 1 yet.
This is Cult of Cali. That's
Cult of Cali is number 2. So he said something about where the word thugs come from, but I'm not sure why he said that, to be honest. I don't know. I guess like I said, my fascination is I don't understand how. What do you have to do to convince somebody to join this group?
I think people just like to hope for something they don't have. They just hope. I think basically is hope, like that. Just people. I don't even know. I can't even fathom or think about how people just. They're just easily brainwashed, or they just like to hold on to something, some form of hope. You know what I'm saying? Or have a purpose,
and
I guess
belonging to something. Yeah,
a sense of belonging. Like, okay, yes, we're a community, or because that it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay,
so
definitely don't make sense to me.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how. Like, all these things are actually ridiculous things that a normal person should not believe or should not be a part of.
Right.
So I don't know what they might have told. So it's mostly broken people. I guess I'm thinking about it, like maybe mostly broken people, people that don't feel loved, people that are looking for a purpose in life,
right?
That just feel like they need to belong somewhere,
or running from something,
So I guess yes, because like, well, the one with the alien is like, do they have like some sort of disability, like developmental disability? Because that doesn't, or intellectual disability, because that doesn't make sense at all. Like, really, are you a child?
Right.
Even kids like at 10 or they know that there's nothing called they know that they stop knowing like Easter Bunny,
right,
stuff up, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Christmas,
no tooth fairy,
exactly. So they know that you're making stuff. Talk less of aliens, like aliens are going to come take you, or whatever it is. Oh, I don't know. That's I cannot explain what was going through their mind.
Yeah, my brain does
I think
not
a lot of
comprehend.
them were not just okay. You think they are okay, but they're not okay mentally, for real.
Maybe,
They were
Yeah,
they were never
yeah.
evaluated, so
Yeah.
you will not know. For real, I don't think that is a normal behavior.
and I think about the People's Temple when we were talking about that. Like you are a mother who gave a syringe of poison to your child.
Like, yeah, but some people are so deep into it, you know, like they're so deep.
Oh,
into it,
absolutely,
and then,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I guess that they believed that they were gonna go to a better place. That's the thing. Everybody, I think all of these people believe that they were gonna go to a better place. But I guess it's how you get there.
Like New Jersey.
How did New Jersey end up being the better place?
Better place.
Whatever. So you were saying Cult of Cali, and the word
the thugs.
thug.
Okay, so they were a band of people who actually went through the territory, just robbing, pillaging, and whatever. And that's where the name come from. It was THUGGE.
Okay.
So when you say thug, that's kind of like a reference to them.
Okay.
But I thought they were in India. Did we say India?
I don't know what you said.
Cali. Let's see. Where's they? And I don't know how I'm pronouncing this correctly, but it's like thug-y.
Okay.
Band of Hindus and Muslim assassins who would strangle people, so they could offer them up as sacrifices to Kali, the Hindu god, right? So the purpose of strangling was to make sure that not a drop of blood would be spilled, so all of it would be offered to Kali.
Okay. I'm starting to believe your theory about they're not well people.
So let's see.
So what's the end result though? Like that's my whole thing. Like what is the end result? So I'm gonna strangle this person. I'm gonna
do a blood sacrifice.
Do a blood sacrifice
to Kali.
To do what? Now what's going to happen to me if I do this? That's what I'm saying. What's the end result? Am I going to heaven? Am I going to have 15 virgins? Like what is happening? What is the end result?
It's just a sacrifice. The gods need sacrifices.
I guess to get favor from the God. It's always been about favor, to be honest.
Okay.
Right? Favor as in
or money.
Or I'm going to go
blessings.
to see you. I'm going to be in a better place. Or of course, you know, like the virgins or whatever.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that's whatever. But let's see.
Wow.
2 million deaths over at least 450 years of existence.
2 million people?
2 million people. Yeah. So.
And nobody dropped a bomb on them. Like, how did you kill 2 million people?
Yep. I guess
Hitler. That's how you kill 2 million people. Holy cow.
Yep. So today, this is where we get it. We refer to bandits and robbers as thugs. After the thug. I need to know how to pronounce that word. Yeah. Tug.
Tuggy.
Targaryen.
Don't get him started.
Last but not least is the Children of God, which I had never heard of. You've heard of that? Okay. So 1960s, David Berg formed what just may be the most notorious, infamous cult in American history, the Children of God.
Wow.
The group's teachings blended ecstatic worship of Jesus Christ with promiscuous sex.
Oh, wow.
It's always seeming to be sex in
bad
it.
so far to me. Let's see.
In
fact, one of the group's evangelistic techniques during the 1970s was called flirty fishing.
FF.
I'm scared to know what that is.
Yeah. So in flirty fishing, female members of the cult were encouraged to win over potential converts by having sex with them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good for
So they would go out there and,
have sex to bring them
to bring the lure in.
I think all cults probably do that.
Yeah, I think
They're
so
sending somebody out there on fishing expeditions.
They often worked as prostitutes in escort agencies.
Imagine that.
The belief was that people could receive God's gift of salvation by having sex with members of the Children of God.
Don't you need salvation?
So, all right, let's
So what makes them notorious then?
The darker side was that the promiscuous sex was not limited to consenting adults. Okay. So
Even
maybe
children.
probably I'm thinking maybe drugged.
consenting.
Oh,
Drugged.
okay.
All right, children who grew up in the cult were frequently raped.
Exactly.
The late actor River Phoenix grew up in the cult, and he claimed that the first time he was forced to have sex, he was 4 years old.
Oh wow,
Jeez.
Wow.
No wonder he was doing heroin.
that's crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Additionally, the children were discouraged from attending school, as they should.
So they should not learn or know.
That this is
Right.
wrong.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, they wanted to get the favor of God, and the apocalypse was coming anyway, so why go to school? That's the, So, 1993, Interpol and the CIA finally began investigating these allegations of sexual abuse made against David Berg. He died the next year, but the cult continued until as late as 2009.
Wow.
Under the new moniker of the Family International. And they claimed that any form of sexual conduct with a minor was strictly forbidden. I guess that's the new one.
The new one. Okay.
But the evidence that thousands of children were sexually abused by the cult members is overwhelming. So they put that out there, but that's not what they were preaching.
They doing. Right.
Yeah. So.
And, they break up these cults, or, they arrest the leaders. And that means all of these traumatized people are in the world now.
Yep.
And what does that look like for society?
And probably, when you say hurt people.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So.
Wow. Okay.
And, I honestly don't think that anything that they've done is anything new.
Oh,
I think
no.
in our time, our modern time, I think it's more or less, we just know about it.
Right.
Things are getting out.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's interesting.
Yeah, because a lot of this stuff is probably hidden and you don't hear about it. I definitely want to look at Scientology because I really don't know a lot about it, but clearly it's not okay because, a few people have jumped ship and was just like, this is not good.
Well, I heard that it was more or less, it was more control. And when people did things that was wrong, they didn't want them to report stuff out of the, you had to come to, I guess, whoever the pastor, minister, whatever, and they would handle it. But, yeah, we can look at that.
Yeah, you might.
Can't be too bad. Tom Cruise in it.
Is he really, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like the poster boy for it.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll look at that. We'll have that somewhere along down the line. So, do you have any information for people who are in a cult and would like to leave, and how would they do that? Because a lot of these things is dangerous. It's just like a domestic violence situation. It's dangerous to leave. People find out that you're trying to leave and can hurt you.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they have different types. They have they're saying the cult deprogramming. Mm-hmm. And I said that's the coercive practice that involves the utilization of high confrontation methods in an effort to share information upon cult involved individuals. So basically I think that's more or less the intervention part.
Right.
You go in there and say, you will do this. And I think that would be hard to implement.
Well, interventions are hard. I mean, even if you think about it from my professional perspective, interventions are very hard, and you have to get the people who are, because the person that you're doing an intervention with is not willing.
Right.
A lot of times they're not willing to go. They don't see
they don't see anything wrong with it.
Right. What the problem is. So it's a lot of coordinating. It's a lot of timing.
So for the families, you can actually go in there and look up in your area. For cult intervention and what's the word for the other one? The
Deprogramming.
Okay. But Psychology Today, they have a guide. You go on there, psychologytoday.com. They have a guide, a definitive guide to helping people trapped in a cult.
Right.
So you can download that and,
Well, a part of that is they may not even have access to that to be able to download anything.
Well, this would be somebody on the outside.
The families. Yeah,
so
the family
if
members.
they're in a cult, there's usually nothing that you can do them. They're not going to, look for help. They're not going to accept help because they think everything's right.
Right.
Unless you remember that episode of, what was it? What's Happening? When Rerun, he was,
I want to fight him so hard right
the
now.
lettuce. Well, they had to do an intervention and he finally figured out because he heard somebody talking, whatever. But outside of that, I don't think anybody in a cult is gonna
or realizes right now that
Right.
voluntarily whenever until something bad happens.
Right.
You know?
Well, that's what I was saying that TV show called Escaping Polygamy is. You know, these ladies wake up and realize, oh my God, I don't want to do this,
Right.
or I shouldn't be doing this, and they have this whole kind of like underground railroad deal to try to get these girls out. Yeah, and it's dangerous to leave. Same thing, I'm sure, for the cults. So they
I think
would
they're
have to be
giving
careful.
polygamy a bad name. They should stop saying escaping polygamy. They should escape whatever that cult is.
Whatever.
That's just me.
So thank you for the information.
Listen, we want to give a shout out to our Pizza City.
Pizza City, yes. I had it
Pizza
backwards.
City
My
on
Polo Liberty Road.
6035, is it? 6031. You'll see it. Liberty Road in Tulsa. You can see it. But go to Pizza City. I think it's 6031 Liberty Road. They have everything: wings, pizza, subs, salads. Pretty good. So we're gonna do an actual taste test the next time around, and we'll tell you guys that you
What's going to be our word for today?
Word for today is I don't know.
Felonious, you pick a word for today.
Brainwash.
Oh, that's a good
Brainwash.
one.
Okay. Brainwash.
Mm-hmm.
Word for the day is brainwash.
That's a good one. You say wash.
I don't know why you're saying the R. Why you put the R?
Brainwash.
It's wash.
WASH. Wash.
Wash. There's
You're
no
pronouncing
R.
R.
Yeah, that's wash.
Olodo.
Do you say zinc
Olodo.
too?
Huh?
You
No,
say zinc
I say
too.
sink.
Thank you.
Sink. Right.
Okay.
So, thank you guys for tuning in. And if you have any questions or comments, you can go to www.hottopixpodcast.com. And that's Hot Topics with a TOPIX. And click on forum. And you can, put all your comments in there and we'll respond to it. So, thank you guys for coming out. Any last words?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, family, for listening to the latest episode of Hot Topics. As usual, listen, like, share, subscribe. Ta.
This is what I do.